Welcome to SVG-TV News for Wednesday, October 30th, 2024. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. Amendments have been made to the Representation of the People's Act, allowing public servants here to contest general elections without having to resign. The bill brought to Parliament on Tuesday by Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves includes 5 provisions and 2 schedules under the RPA. Eligible public servants, including teachers, must fall within the salary scale of grade B2 to M, with a few exceptions.
Agricultural diversification officer and so on and so forth, right down to the office attendant, which would include all the teaching positions. And the only ones in those categories below B2 and below, which would not have the benefit of this opening in the Representation of the People Act Amendment Bill, would be the officers appointed under Section 83 of the Constitution. Appointment, etc., of magistrates, registrars, and legal officers. And then the Deputy Director of Audit, Deputy Accountant General, Deputy Comptroller of Customs and Excise, Deputy Controller of Inland Revenue, Deputy Supervisor of Elections, Director of Maritime Administration, officers in the Royal St. Vincent and Grenadines Police Force, because you must remember that there are officers in the Royal St. Vincent and Grenadines Police Force which should have been listed in those categories, senior officers above particular rank.
Clause 1 also amends Section 35(1) of the People's Act to allow senators to hold public office. Previously, public servants were required to resign in order to contest general elections. However, with the new amendment, individuals can now apply for leave as prescribed by law.
If a person who holds or is acting in a public office set out in Schedule 2 intends to offer himself under this Act as a candidate for election, the person must be absent on leave for the election period. To comply with subsection 1, the person referred to in subsection 1 is required to take accrued leave or leave without pay. If the person referred to in subsection 1 is elected as a member of the House of Assembly, the person is taken to have retired from the public office on the day the Supervisor of Election transmits to the Governor General the writ endorsed with the name of the member elected for the constituency. And clause 4, in this section, election period means the period beginning on the day following the day the writ is issued under Section 31 and ending on the day the Supervisor of Elections transmits to the Governor General the writ endorsed in the name of the member elected for the constituency.
Regarding benefits, the Prime Minister noted that while individuals in the past lost all their benefits, this time those benefits will be retained, including pension benefits for teachers.
By inserting after the section of designation 6 and the subsection designation 1, and insert the following subsection. Notwithstanding subsection 1, a pension, gratuity, or other allowance may be granted in accordance with this Act to an officer who is taken to have retired under Section 37B of the Representation of the People Act on being elected as a member of the House of Assembly. If you're not elected, you go back to your job. If you want to go back, you might decide that you're done with that, depending on how many years you have done now. And in the case of the Teachers' Pension Act, Section 4 of the Teachers' Pension Act is amended by inserting the following subsection. Notwithstanding anything in this section, a pension, gratuity, or other allowance may be granted in accordance with this Act as a teacher who is taken to have retired under Section 37B of the Representation of the People Act on being elected as a member of the House of Assembly. So we'll preserve your retirement benefits.
Opposition leader Dr. Godwin Friday welcomed the amendments, describing them as long overdue. He noted the case of 3 teachers who suffered significant losses when they ran for the New Democratic Party in 2010.
The point is, Madam Speaker, what we're doing here today is necessary, but it could have been done at the time when the need clearly arose. in 2010. It could have been done to alleviate the hardship that those 3 teachers experienced, having relied upon the word of the government and their union. So, and the court said that in the judgment very clearly. And I read here, it says at paragraph 38 at the bottom, undoubtedly, and I'm quoting, the fullness of the purpose to be achieved by Article 16, that is of the collective agreement, could only achieve efficacy by parliamentary prescription of exceptions and limitations to the qualification bar on public officers imposed by Section 26(1)(d).
President of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Teachers Union, Oswald Robinson, welcomes the amendment to the Representation of the People's Act, which paves the way for teachers to contest general elections. Robinson expressed his satisfaction that the SVG-TU played a role in ensuring the provisions were passed, especially following the government's refusal to honor the collective bargaining agreement with the SVG-TU when 3 of its teachers ran in the general elections in 2010.
Now today the government is using that same article with the same intention, because our intention is that you'll be reinstated on the benefits. All you will do, will take 6 months no pay leave. What the government is saying now, you will not resign. Well, basically that is what we were saying. You see? So they are saying all public servants now would have the opportunity to contest general election without resigning. Now, of course, you would resign if you are successful, because you can't hold 2 jobs. But we welcome this. This is our baby. This is our thing. It started with us. The government didn't have the vision at the time and to understand that we were forging forward to deepen democracy, freedom of expression, giving our members the opportunity to serve this blessed nation at the highest level of the land, the parliament.
SVG's 45th Independence Parade, held for the first time at night since the country gained independence, was a momentous occasion for many Vincentians. Victoria Park was filled to capacity on Sunday, October 27th, as spectators gathered to witness the parade by various guards. SVG-TV News spoke with some excited children who attended the parade with their mother, who was visiting from overseas.
Today was a great day, especially because the fire breathing.
I love how the fireworks were going. They were really pretty, and it was very nice to see everyone just gathered here, all in one.
I enjoyed myself. It's been a very long time since I've been here, and I guess it's the first time that they've had the lights. It's quite awesome, spectacular. The bands were great, and the performances were really enjoyable for the most part. I enjoyed everything about it. Just enjoying St. Vincent's 45th anniversary. It's a big deal. It's a big deal for us. We should look back at the progress that we've had since I was here as a child in 1979 when the Queen came and our school had to come and we had to sing for the Queen and perform for the Queen in 1979, and to come back 45 years later and look at the progress that St. Vincent has gone through since it acquired its independence to date. It's been incredible. We should be very proud of our nation and be very proud of where we have gone. In this 45 years, we have done quite tremendously.
One Grenadian Vincentian remarked that the event would go down as a night to remember.
Fantastic. I didn't get to see everything from the beginning. I was very upset because there was traffic jam. I should have been here earlier, but from what I've seen, I've enjoyed everything. I feel so much like a Vincy. I'm a Grenadian born, but I'm a Vincy as well. So I'm happy to be here. Everything is just spectacular.
What was your favorite part?
My favorite part is the march. The parade, the marching around, and the police band, they were very good. The Coast Guard was also very good, and the Navy, they were crisp. The march was very good.
SVG-TV News also caught up with a Vincentian member of the Royal Navy who said that the practice for the parade paid off.
The parade was amazing. Actually, the reason why it's amazing, it's been quite tedious exercising and getting all the rehearsing and stuff like that, and I feel like it's worth it. All the hard work paid off. Yes, it's good to be home. You could feel the appreciation and everything like that. All the families and the loved ones, it's really appreciated, yes. So after the parade, we leave on Wednesday and back to reality, really, back to the job, back in the UK. The quality time now with my family, just the last few days to see them.
After the parade, there was a cultural showcase featuring dancers and artists. And Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves expressed his delight on radio today at the level of patriotism demonstrated by Vincentians during the National Independence celebrations.
I remember days before the dawning years of the 21st century. You had not a lot of people turning out, for instance, at the parades on Independence morning. And then you start to see it growing, and we're encouraging it. And, I want to think that those of us who speak all the time and write about reclaiming our history and reclaiming our independence and our sovereignty, I think those messages have gotten across more and more.
Yeah.
And people are getting impatient with those what every turn want to pull down St. Vincent and the Grenadines, who are stuffed with negativism and bile and anger. Without regard for these lands and seas and people and our forebears who have brought us thus far. And I don't go on the roaming about on the various platforms, but things are drawn to my attention, and when they are, I would look and read, and I notice that more and more people, as I say, impatient with those who just want to pull down, and anybody who has a tendency, very often is grounded in just a quest for political power, Yeah, you have to make things look bad. There's nothing ever good. You just want to make it look bad.
A highlight of this year's independence celebrations was the military parade at Victoria Park, which was attended by thousands of Vincentians. The Prime Minister commended the organizers for their efforts.
Well, 5 to 6, because the Governor General arrived at 6. Johnny P, the thing was jam-packed.
Not even standing room.
Not even standing room. And the thousands of people outside. And thousands also turned back because Camilo tells me, for instance, he was in the traffic for about an hour and a half. And Montgomery Daniel, similarly, until a traffic cop on a motorcycle helped them through the crowd to come down. It's and they say nothing good comes out of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Well, they saw it the other night. I quite enjoyed also the show after.
Yeah.
As you notice, I'd walked with a change of shirt because I didn't want to be in the crowd with my jacket and tie. I kept on my suit pants, but I changed up at the VIP in the bathroom, the VIP area.
Right.
That was my only visit, and to greet our guests, because we had over 20 representatives from countries, which is the largest in my time.
Okay.
I don't think there'd ever been a number like that. And Johnny, 12, 13 of them requested bilaterals.
Okay. So you could imagine how busy the Friday and the Saturday and the Sunday. Sunday morning, for instance, I saw 7 of them between breakfast at 7:30. I had breakfast with one, and then I had them at intervals until about 1:30.
In other local news now, we hear that area representative for West St. George, Curtis King, announced that the government has now identified a site to relocate Polyard residents affected by the construction of the acute care hospital. Speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony for the new hospital last Saturday, Minister King assured the residents that the government would follow through on its promise to properly relocate them. While he confirmed that a site has been found, he did not disclose the specific location.
Thankfully, we have done so now, and we are in an advanced stage of preparation. In fact, we are looking now at having in place the infrastructure so that we can facilitate the relocation of our citizens, our residents from that community. I want to thank them for their patience and ask them to exercise a little more patience as we get the job done. Now, SVG, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, is a small country. So naturally, a project of this magnitude and of this nature is going to cause some inconvenience.
Minister King told attendees that consultations were held with residents and an environmental and social assessment was conducted in 2018. However, 6 years later, a location has finally been identified, and he is asking residents for their patience during this process.
So I therefore ask for the understanding of our residents in this community, especially those closest to the construction site. Bear with us and let us all work together to ensure that this project is successfully completed. Before I close though, I want to thank the government and people of the Republic of China, Taiwan, for their quick response and for their magnanimous support in this project.
It was noted during the construction contract signing ceremony valued at $78.73 million with Taiwan and the government of SVG that Polyard residents will be compensated for their relocation. Here at the second edition of the CSME Secondary Schools Youth Summit, an initiative of the Business Department of the St. Vincent Grammar School, was hosted today under the team You and Me United with CSME. The event, sponsored by the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, targeted fifth form business students from the various secondary schools in SVG. In her welcoming remarks at the summit, head of the Business Department of the St. Vincent Grammar School and coordinator of the event, Roxanne Williams, explained that the summit born out of the Teacher Exchange program held in March last year in several CARICOM countries, which seeks to enhance implementation of the CSME advocacy on the CSME in the region, with participants encouraged to advocate for CSME in their respective territories at the end of the program. Williams said since then they hosted inaugural CSME Secondary Schools Youth Summit in October 2023 and an internal CSME quiz among third form students of the St. Vincent Grammar School in May this year, with the hope of hosting other activities to heighten students' awareness of the role, functions and benefits of the CSME and its overall importance to regional integration. A presentation at the summit was also made on the topic Navigating the Blue Economy for Sustainable Entrepreneurship, which Williams said has several objectives.
1. To inspire and equip young people to explore sustainable entrepreneurship opportunities within the blue economy. 2. To boost knowledge and skills through presentations that enhance understanding of the blue economy and its relevance to regional sustainability. And 3, to encourage students to research and develop innovative solutions related to the blue economy, thus promoting creativity and critical thinking. In their addresses, the various speakers, including our distinguished delegates, will tell us more about the blue economy. As they dive into this exciting, albeit crucial dialogue, we will hear about some of the challenges that the entrepreneurs have to navigate. We will hear about the sustainable practices that these entrepreneurs employ. We will also hear of some of the things that the blue economy can do for our region, the benefits that are there to be enjoyed. They will benefit the ecosystems and the economies of the region on a whole.
Headmaster of the St. Vincent Grammar School, Hugh Collins Sam, expressed pride with the school's business department for hosting the initiative and said the topic, a blue economy, is fitting as there are a number of benefits that SVG and other island states can benefit from a good blue economy. Congratulating the St. Vincent Grammar School for the initiative, Deputy Chief Education Officer Joycelyn Blake Brown noted that there are several initiatives already available to give the school the support in its endeavor. She also told the students they should also consider ways in which they can use the school's curriculum at the primary or secondary levels to infuse more ideas about the blue economy.
Because the mere fact that I had to go and research, and I know you did your research, and there are many persons out there too who need to know more about the blue economy. As was said before, we are surrounded by the Caribbean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. How many of us can swim? And can swim well? Another thing I want you to think about, what kind of Caribbean do you envision, let's say 5 to 10 years from now? Just imagine, what is the kind of Caribbean or the kind of St. Vincent and the Grenadines that you envision? You know what? I remember being a student at the St. Vincent Teachers College, and I can give you the year so you can calculate. 1986, 1988, and around that period of time, that was when the idea of the Caribbean single market and economy was really introduced, so many years ago. And here we are still today having a conversation. So I'm saying to you now, what kind of Caribbean do you envision? 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Again, another question for you to think about. And you, the youth, how do you intend to articulate your opinions? What opinion do you have about the blue economy? How do you intend to persuade persons to protect, some of the words you use, to preserve, to sustain, to manage? How do you intend to change policies? I am hoping that today's event is not going to be you having done your research and nothing is done with the information presented. Yes, you can shape the opinions, policies of your country. How do you intend to advocate for the blue economy? How do you intend to make the environment a safer place?
SVG's ambassador to CARICOM, Alan Alexander, in his address at the opening ceremony, outlined the benefits of the CSME for the region, noting that by breaking down the barriers to trade and investment, the CSME seeks to unlock the economic potential and to enhance the competitiveness of the region on a global scale.
Think of it as now allowing us, the Caribbean countries, to operate as a large interconnected economy, bargaining on the international scale as one united body and not as individual countries. Just think of it as what a force that is to be reckoned with once we use it correctly. CSMA has also made it easier for you to work in any other member state without having to apply for an expensive work permit. This was done through the creation of what is known as the CARICOM Skills Certificate. This certificate allows you to work in any member state once you fall within the approved category of workers. Some of the approved 12 category of workers include university graduates, holders of associate degrees, nurses, teachers, sportsperson, media persons, artists, beauticians, security guards, and agriculture workers, to name a few. Have you ever taken the time to notice that written on the front of our passports that is issued by St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the words, the CARICOM community? Yes. That is a major symbol which signifies that countries who are members of the member states of CARICOM share a common passport. So the passport that will be issued in Jamaica, the same CARICOM passport that will be issued in St. Vincent, St. Lucia, and any other CARICOM member state. And the holder of this passport is given an automatic 6-month stay in any other CARICOM member state you visit.
According to Alexander, the future of the CARICOM single market and economy, or the CSME, offers several benefits to young people in member countries, focusing on economic opportunities, mobility, and personal development. A farmers' training room and chilling room were officially opened on Independence Day, Sunday, October 27th, at the Orange Hill Agricultural Biotechnological Center. The opening ceremony was attended by Taiwan's Foreign Minister, His Excellency Dr. Ling Shang-lung, who was on a tour visit to the island that concluded on Monday, October 28, 2024. Minister of Agriculture Suboto Caesar, who spoke at the ceremony, expressed gratitude to the people and government of Taiwan for their continued assistance to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, particularly in the agriculture sector. He underscored the importance of a farmer field school for both farmers and technical staff in the ministry.
It is very important from the standpoint of extension, the staff of extension in the ministry, that we establish a platform for a farmer field school approach. And it is very difficult for the extension staff sometimes to go and meet farmers individually all the time. And whilst that is an excellent practice, there must be a place where we can bring the farmers together so that we can have a transfer of knowledge.
Minister Caesar said that the farmers' training rooms will be established throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
We are going to have here a farmers' training room, and we are going to have other training rooms throughout the country, other buildings that we are going to utilize like the learning resource centers throughout the country as farmers' training rooms. And it was a conversation last year when we looked at the possibility of expanding our production of vegetables in the country and working with the CARICOM initiative to reduce our food import bill by 25% by 2025, that we decided to set up these facilities to store produce across the country. There is a facility that was completed here in Orange Hill. There's another facility at Lanley Park, and there will be facilities at Lauder's, at La Croix, and also in Belmont.
The minister further explained how farmers would benefit from the training rooms.
For the vegetable farmers who are here with us, and I see Sister Balcom here, happy to have you, and all the other farmers who are here in the production of vegetables, you will have a space where after producing your tomatoes, cabbage, your cucumbers, that you will be able to bring the produce to these facilities, and we're going to work out an arrangement for storage. I want to also thank the technical mission for the work that you did as it pertains to the strengthening of the cooperatives here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines pertaining to the agriculture cooperatives, and we are going to build on that.
In other news now, the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, the RSPF, has launched an investigation into the shooting death of Marilyn John, a 48-year-old vendor from Pole Yard, Annisville. Preliminary investigations indicate that the incident occurred around 9 p.m. on Tuesday, October 29, 2024, as John was on her way home. Reports suggest that 3 masked assailants opened fire on John while she was seated in her vehicle. Other occupants occupants were present at the time of the incident but were unharmed. The district medical officer arrived on the scene and pronounced John deceased. The SVG-PF cells, a crime scene unit personnel were promptly dispatched to process the scene, and various exhibits were collected as part of the ongoing investigation. A post-mortem examination is expected to be conducted to determine the exact cause of death. The SVG-PF urges anyone with information that may assist in this investigation to come forward. It says further updates will be provided as more information becomes available, and extends condolences to the family and friends of John during this difficult time. In another police matter, on Independence Day, Sunday, October 27, 2024, police arrested and charged Kesroy Ryan Boeing, a 24-year-old laborer of Lomans Hill, with multiple serious offenses, including theft, abduction, attempted rape, and wounding. Investigations revealed that on October 20, 2024, in Arnottsville, the accused allegedly carried away a female complainant without her consent from Arnottsville to Lomans Hill. On October 21, 2024, in Arnottsville, Bowen is also accused of stealing a multicolored purse valued at $60 EC containing $3, the property of the female complainant. Further investigations indicated that on October 22, 2024, in Lomans Hill, the accused, with intent to commit the offense of rape, engaged in acts to the commission of the offense. Additionally, on the same date and location, Bowen unlawfully and maliciously wounded the female complainant by stabbing her on the right hand with a pair of scissors. The accused was apprehended and taken before the Serious Offences Court on Tuesday, October 29, 2024, to answer to the charges. He was not expected to plead because of the indictable nature of the offences. He was, however, granted bail in the sum of $20,000 EC with one surety. He was also ordered to report to the Central Police Station every Monday between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. The matter was adjourned and transferred to the family court for hearing today, October 30, 2024. The Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force says the recent arrest and charging of the accused reflect its ongoing efforts to maintain national security while ensuring due process is upheld.